Welcome to Auction House Live. This is part two of our 426 show. We're going to be jumping right in to an E46 M3 SMG coupe car. So let's get our screen going on this E46. Here it is. It's an '06 E46, the last model year for the E46. From the get-go, I see competition wheels. I see titanium silver metallic. It looks like it has the black
25
Napa leather.
G's, like for an SMG.
25 G's for an SMG. We have 68,000 miles. That's a strong bid. So we're gonna jump right into this auction. It looks like we have it's a factory competition package car, power sunroof, heated seats, Alcantara steering wheel, nav, accident free, and it's a California car. Like I said, it's finished in titanium silver metallic, has that black Napa interior. My favorite part of these E46 competitions is undoubtedly the forged 19-inch wheels. This one wears Pilot Sport AS3s. I'd throw Super Sports on there if it was me. Look at that wheel.
Oh my gosh, I love the Alcantara wheels. Man, dude, if that was in a 6-speed. I've never driven a SMG E46.
I've never driven an SMG. I've had friends with SMG E46s, and they've done SMG tunes to them.
Yeah, and they're quicker.
But
sorry, I'm just posting the stream here.
Not a problem. 3.2 liter S54.
Bring a trailer, come on. They still haven't verified Auction House Live.
That's fine.
Account. So let me just go back to my personal. What do you think of this color? Is this this got to be one of the, or the most common color?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's silver metallic, titanium silver metallic. This is a private party out of Daly City. Let's investigate the owner here.
That's a strong bid then, a 25 private party. I'm seeing...
wow. So this is a private party. Right now, he also has up his 991 GT3. I didn't realize this, and we're going to be covering that car later.
Wow.
Let's take a look at his 991 GT3 really quick to see when this ends. But this was on our list. Yep, we're going to be covering this in about 5 days. We'll get to that. But this seller's just... Is he liquidating his collection? Is he... what's he doing? Here are his most recent comments. This first comment is about the maintenance on an inspection on this E46 SMG. He had an inspection completed. Filter spark plugs were deemed good. It looks like he owns another E46 with 114,000 miles, and it looks like there's some conversation about subframe, which is common for these. Maybe a little bit of talk about Vanos.
Well, he didn't get the valves adjusted, and I guess that's like the main reason why you do the inspection level 2 on these. It looks like, reading the comments, about $2,500, and he didn't have the valves adjusted. So that's one
tick against.
One tick against, but there's a lot of ticks for that wheel.
Yeah, I mean, it's a competition package car, so it's a highly sought after car. Like Kyle and I said, we've never experienced the SMG.
Has any of you guys that might be watching?
Yeah. From what we hear, they shift very slow and clunky when you're doing moderate speeds, but when you're on it, those shifts kind of fire off a little bit more. From what I read, they offer tunes for the transmission. I'm not sure about reliability on those tunes or what they do. Maybe some of you can chime in the chat who have more experience with that. This is a California car. It looks like... he lives in Burlingame, just outside of San Francisco. And it seems like this seller is pretty reputable. He has a bit of a collection. He's also selling his 991 GT3, and mentioned in the comments he had another E46 M3. Let's
go through the gallery.
Let's
get the gallery.
Let's go through the gallery. I'm just looking at invoices here. Some really good pics of this. I think it's called titanium metallic.
For all you guys joining, it's a Friday. Hang on, we gotta get that.
Kyle here has that. That was a little aggressive there. Bud Light Platinum. I'm drinking Shock Tops.
Had to get it done.
Let us know what you guys are drinking. So we're gonna go through this gallery here. Talk about a little bit about what we like. First off, I mean, you can't go wrong with the titanium silver. It's just a classic color, especially with the 19-inch forged wheels, right? Yep. It looks good. I mean, I prefer Laguna Seca blue, which is almost like a Mexico blue.
Those aren't easy to find.
Those aren't easy to find. I prefer this to the carbon black.
Yep.
I think it's just a good, safe color. What I really like about it is front bumper hasn't been drilled.
Yep,
that's
big.
something. That's something a lot of people overlook.
Yeah, they don't.
That's something even though it's so minute, I appreciate.
If you're buying a brand new car, do not drill your front bumper, even if you didn't plan on keeping the bumper perfect. When you go to resell it, if you have an undrilled front bumper,
it looks great.
That's another $500 or so that you can tag on if it's a big enthusiast.
If it's an enthusiast who wants a clean
if it's your
bumper,
Civic,
you know. And living in California myself, we're in Boston right now, but my family's all in California. All of our cars have no front plate, and you never get hassled for it. So
not here in Boston. That's for sure.
I mean, I think you're safe wherever you go. It's outside of Boston, but in California, you're not going to get hassled for a front plate. Absolutely love the E46. I think that's a great shot. You can see those fender flares there. Probably my favorite BMW in terms of looks. The E46.
Hardtop looks. I actually have a red E46 on my wall in my room.
Yeah.
I love these, and I don't love the drop top version.
No, the cab version of the E46 I'm not too big a fan of.
No.
I've seen a lot of them.
The pricing difference is pretty huge.
It's pretty dramatic.
So if you can get over having the convertible.
I'm surprised this is sitting at 25.
I know.
To be honest with you, with 68,000 miles. But it's a competition pack.
Yeah, look at the wheel. That's
Alcantara wheel. You could see in the background.
Can you get any zoom in there?
For those people, I don't know. If
there was a zoom button I saw on the...
Here, this is what I was getting at. For those who don't know, the M3s or BMWs of this era, you have the adjustable red line. So as the car warms up, your red line increases. So when you first started, it might be around 45 to $5,000, and then it's like an engine protection. So we had another bid just come in, and we're sitting at $25,500 for this E46 M3. Let's take a look at the Carfax. This is a 5-owner car.
We just got another bid at $25,500. Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like our comment was deleted to join the stream.
Was it?
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Was it? What account was it on?
It was on my personal. They haven't approved. Really? Yeah, they haven't approved of the official. But Bring a Trailer, if you're watching this, please, if you have an issue, reach out. But I feel like we're adding a little bit. It could have been the seller though. He might have asked to get that removed. So to each their own. Looks like we've got about 10 people here with us.
Right. So I'm just going to post the link right now, Kyle, if you want to talk a little bit more about this E46.
Yeah, I think we've covered most of it. Sitting at 25.5, 2 minutes to go. We've gone through the gallery. We can go through again. I would love maybe some questions or some comments from anybody that may be watching. We've got 11 people in here. If you're new, this is Auction House Live. We like to cover Bring a Trailer auctions about 3 days a week. Add some commentary, maybe inform you guys a little bit about each specific car. You might learn something, and just switch it up and bring some life to the end of these auctions because they are very exciting. So if you guys are enjoying this, throw a thumbs up on the stream. Hit that subscribe button. It lets us know that you're enjoying this, and we're taking our time to do this because we also enjoy it. So it's nice to get some feedback and get some interaction in the chat. But
so this is a gorgeous E46 M3. This is finished in titanium silver. Competition pack. We're sitting at $25,500 for this SMG car. I think that's a strong bid for an SMG car with 68,000 miles. Seems the E46 market has tapered off a little bit in the past 6 months. We're not seeing the crazy numbers we used to. So this auction comes as a little bit of a surprise, but it's a New Mexico, California car, so no rust to worry about here. Has recent inspection. Hasn't had the valves adjusted. And it looks like it came with a new battery. We have fluid change and rear subframe inspection. So looks like it might have come with a third-party PPI, which is nice. Looking at the carbon fiber wheel, this is one of my favorite features. Kyle's as well.
Yeah. In any car.
I'm hoping that the aftermarket carbon fiber paddle shifters aren't glued on to the OEM shift paddles. We had a GLA 45 AMG, and unfortunately, you're supposed to use 3M tape to stick those on typically, unless they're a direct bolt-on. I'm not too familiar with the product offering here for the E46, but on our GLA 45 AMG, the previous owner hot glued the paddle extenders
super glued
on.
actually.
Super glued.
Wasn't hot glued.
Wasn't-
Man, I'm also wondering
wasn't too pretty.
who deleted the comment on BAT.
Yeah.
Bring a Trailer was actually in our stream the other day, so they stopped by. It seemed like they were totally cool with that. So maybe the seller didn't. This one sold, so 25.5 sold.
There we go.
But maybe the seller didn't appreciate us covering his car. So
I think that's a strong price.
Very strong
for a 68,000 mile E46 M3 with an SMG. If this was a manual car, I think it would be around 28 to 30 maybe. But this is a clean California car, competition package. Last year they made the E46, so there is a lot going for it. Recent maintenance, clean Carfax, and we're having a little bit of trouble here with Bring a Trailer.
Yeah. Does anyone else have issues? When sometimes I throw a comment in, I press submit, and then nothing shows up.
The comment disappears.
You've had that issue?
Yeah,
right?
we have a dealership account. We have personal accounts, and I don't know what it is about Bring a Trailer commenting right now, but sometimes I'll post a comment
kind of
and
messed
it'll
up. That's for
just
sure.
disappear. So, folks at Bring a Trailer, you should get that sorted out. So let's see what we have coming up right now that we're gonna hop into. So we have what appears to be E30 325iX 5-speed. Unless anyone wants us to jump into that, I think we're gonna jump into this 99M Roadster. This one with an S52. Part 1 of our 426 coverage of Bring a Trailer auctions featured an M Coupe with the S54. The S52s are not as desirable, but still great cars regardless. For those not familiar, this is a Z3.
Yep.
And this is the performance variant of the Z3, right?
Yes, sir. And as I had mentioned earlier, the Z3M. So this is the Roadster, but the coupe, there's only 1,100 of them. But as a whole, to produce these M cars, BMW production manager wanted them to be cost efficient because they didn't see high demand for them. So when they were producing these, they made sure that both the M Coupe and M Roadster had interchangeable body panels from the A-pillar forward, I believe.
Right.
So that helped them save some money. The difference between the Z3 and the Z3M structurally is that they added like firmer suspension, firmer struts.
Stiffened up the whole chassis.
Yeah, basically the whole point of the M was to stiffen up the chassis, and then they added the bigger motor. So, pretty unique car there.
Yep, this one's a 99, so I believe the first or second year of this generation of Z3M. So this is the S52 5-speed manual. I believe it comes with a limited slip differential. I'm not too sure about the final drive on these. The auction writer of this ad mentions that this E36 is one of 228 produced in Cosmos Black Metallic. So that's cool. It's another black on black car. The M Coupe that we followed was also a black on black example. And this looks super clean. Only 30,000 miles. I'm surprised Bring a Trailer hasn't thrown that in the title for some SEO. They're the kings of that. But we have factory literature, clean Carfax, and this is out of Jefferson, Indiana, with only 30,000 miles. This seems like a summer and spring car, especially at a night, being that it's a 99. Looking into the interior, the classic Z3 buckets.
Pretty nice.
Like really, really nice. These are super unique seats. Like their bolster patterns are really unique to them.
Yeah, look at the what would you call that? Like between
between your thighs.
Yeah,
it almost has a divot to support your legs.
Or no, it looks like it has a mountain. Not a divot.
But if your legs are going there, right?
The indent for your legs.
They'll fall in it. The pod gauges right above the stick are super unique to the Z3 Roadster and Coupe. And these have the staggered 17-inch wheels. I absolutely love these wheels, especially how the offset is different front to rear. how the rear is super dished. I love it so much, and I just think it's a really iconic, cool 5-spoke wheel. These wear Michelin's. Um,
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't get the link posted in the thread. Like, the auction house account hasn't been verified yet, and then I try to post on my personal, and it just doesn't show up. So,
interesting.
hey, anybody that's watching that might be enjoying it.
Let me try my personal Mugello Blue account.
If you guys wanted to toss the link in there, I don't know.
Yeah.
Up to you.
We're 5 minutes out on this 99 M Roadster. We're sitting at $15,000 for this. I think the bidding will heat up a little bit. I think we're going to get into the 20s on this one, considering it has 30,000 miles. It's an S52. Factory literature. Look at those M gloves it comes with. Those are pretty cool. Kyle, why don't you go through the gallery while I try to post this link here.
Is this front bumper drilled maybe a little bit? Yeah, she might be drilled, but no big deal.
Some rock chips.
A couple rock chips, but that's why you got to clear bra the front of your cars. But this is a nice top-down cruiser.
Yeah,
you know?
I think the inline 6 is like such an iconic, especially S52 and S54 are so iconic, and it's just a great soundtrack.
Yeah, that's well, actually, I read that the coupe sound, like the trunk enhances the sound a little bit of the exhaust, but then with the top down, this thing, you really hear the exhaust. So
yeah, totally.
they both have great exhaust notes. It's just how you hear them is a little bit different.
Inline 6 is super iconic. I really like the rear end of these cars, how like squatty they look, and it's just such a unique car and really limited production numbers, both for Roadster.
Those are clean wheels.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at the dish on that too. That's my favorite part. How concave that is. We just had another bid come in. We're sitting at 15,250.
Yes, Matt, man, life did get in the way today, but we'll get it sorted out. I don't know what's going on with the comments disappearing. Phil's gonna try to post a link, so we'll see if that works.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe they took away links. I don't know.
I don't think they took away links. I think it might be something to do with possibly our IP address. Maybe we need a VPN. I thought Bring a Trailer was all in support of this. I think it's a great compliment to what they are, what they're doing. I think being a Bring a Trailer fanatic, I would love to have someone commenting on the auctions that I'm following closely, or even new cars that I don't know too much about. So we're just going to keep doing what we do, sipping our brews, looking at cars that we like, and just take it day by day, really. But we're 2 minutes out on this 1999 BMW M Roadster. This I think the generation code is what is it? E36. E36/7. That's funny because like an E36 M3. I don't know if that's right or a typo.
Huh.
But we have a couple bids now. Not too many comments coming in. We're sitting at 15,250 with 1:38 to go. I think considering the low mileage of this car, we still have some room.
I hope, yeah.
It is an S52, which is a tick against.
What's the power difference though for?
I'm not too familiar with the power difference.
Let's see.
Let me see what the horsepower figures are. So we have 240 here and 236. I believe S54 is 300 and 260. So it's a bit of a deficit. This has a ZF5 speed. Is that right?
The S54 is 320 and 260.
So.
That's a solid 80 horsepower.
And those are both NA motors.
Yeah.
Keep in mind. So NA power is way different than turbo. We have Beamer ME. I hope you're from Maine, Mr. Beamer ME. And he's saying, I love my S52. I don't feel that it's less than the S54, just a different experience.
I agree.
In some ways, more fun. Whoever buys this car will love it. I think that's totally the argument for low power, unusable power.
Yep.
Miata is the answer. such a common phrase, and those cars have absolutely no power. It's all about the chassis. So, I prefer. Here's another comment. I prefer S52 to the S54.
Okay. To each their own.
To each their own.
I haven't driven either, so I can't.
Yep. But we're in the red here on this BMW M Roadster. It's sitting at 15.5. We just got another bid at 15,750. I think we're gonna go up
Mr. R. Bacon
in 250 increments on
we
this
got
one
it, right?
for a little bit here. But this is a super clean example. 30,000 miles out of Indiana. Underbody appears to be clean. No surface oxidation on either of the mufflers.
Wow.
It looks like the seller, super transparent, comes with all factory tools and documentation. There's a fat subwoofer. I missed that. A huge subwoofer in the
Let's
trunk.
go. He must be bumping,
He
huh?
must. I don't know. I think.
Yeah,
I
is
think
that an amp?
Yeah. I think I might delete that if it were mine and just take in the inline six as the soundtrack. But
I don't know. It depends how good the speakers sound to me. Cause
I mean, could be it. And there's those gauges.
I love that.
It looks like you have voltage, oil pressure or temperature, and then an analog clock. I think that's super unique. I love how they continued the chrome bezels up through the climate controls. They could have easily left out the chrome bezels there and just had the 3, but they continued that.
Yep.
And I really appreciate that. Looks like a really nice. I think
Pretty nice wheel,
BMW does steering wheels really,
Very
really well.
nice.
Looks like that would contour to your hand really well. Looks like it has the M stitching.
We're at 16.3.
Wow. So that was a bit of a jump. We went from 15,750 up to 16,3.
Yeah, so we've got B. Bakurja saying this is a steal at this price. I
Yep.
agree. I think we've got some room to go.
Totally have some room.
Yeah, I tried to throw a comment in there without a link and wasn't
Nothing.
showing up. So.
Yeah. I sent Bring a Trailer a screen video of.
Have you heard?
No, they said I don't know what the problem is because the comments will show up, but it will show up between 30 minutes and an hour later.
So maybe mine will show up later.
Yeah, I think it will show up later, or they said clear your cache, and that it is actually showing up for other viewers. So I'm not too sure about that, but we just got a bid for $16,300 on this 1999 BMW M Roadster. This is Auction House Live. If you're just tuning in, we cover Bring a Trailer auctions about 3 days a week. We take viewer suggestions, but we also just go through the auctions and pick out cars that we enjoy. Today we already covered a 2002 BMW M Coupe, also based on the Z3 platform. And then we went on to cover a really nice narrow body 993 Carrera that was finished in polar silver with a midnight blue interior. That car had around 35,000 miles and went for $72,000. That was a really fun one to follow. There were a lot of 993 guys participating in the chat and also in the comments.
Yep.
And that was a cool auction. But we took a little intermission, got some beers, and now we are looking at this 1999 BMW M Roadster with 11 seconds to go.
What do we got? Anyone?
16.3.
And she is stolen.
Yep.
Man, yesterday and today is sale day
Still
on
at this
Bring a
price.
Trailer.
Yeah, I agree. To the most recent
Sheesh.
commenter.
Yep.
Let me see if I can comment here. Congrats at 6,400. See, just disappears into the night.
That's a bummer.
Never to be seen.
Yeah, we got that on the
again.
stream too. So
Yeah, we have that on the stream. So, for anyone watching the stream, if that happens to you, reach out to Bring a Trailer like I did because
that's a bummer. I feel like we could get some more viewers in here. We've got 5 of us in here. We've had 20 before, 15, and
yeah, we've had up to 25.
I think people do enjoy the stream, so we just got to figure out a way to let them know that we are here.
Yep, we need to.
But what do we got next? What do we got after this one?
I'm just monitoring any last minute comments, seeing if the buyer will chip in. Let's see if he's bought anything else on Bring a Trailer before we go to our next auction. No, he's a new member as of March and
good for him.
and swung in and and picked up this 1999 BMW M Roadster. I think he's going to be thrilled with it.
Really clean.
It's a clean car. Everyone's saying he got it for a steal. We agree with that consensus. But we're going to move on from our... We first covered an E46, and now this BMW M just concluded.
OBD1 intake with a reflash is worth its weight in gold.
Yep.
Didn't know you could do a reflash on those NAs, did you?
No.
Learn something new every day.
So I think we're going to hop into something a little bit more exotic, and that's this Cavalli Mangusta. And so a little bit about Cavalli Mangusta. This car was made in Modena, Italy, and they only made a total of 284 units.
Really?
For a lot of car enthusiasts, Modena rings a very familiar bell because that is the home of Ferrari, Pagani, and the likes. Lamborghini is close by as well. So this Cavalli Mangusta is a super unique car. It is kind of similar to the Di Tommaso Pantera in that it has an Italian designed body, but underneath it has a Ford V8. And I believe these cars also have a lot of components from Mustangs in the interior. That wouldn't be the first choice that I would pull from if I'm building an Italian exotic and speccing an interior.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with our comments here. It's a little bit frustrating because we want to get more people into this stream. We think a lot of these guys would love to hear what we're saying. But yeah, so they only made 284 of these. These have the Ford 4.6 liter V8, super common power plant in Mustangs.
What's up, Joel?
This example is one of 55 in an automatic. I've never seen a Cavalli in automatic. I've only seen it in the manual, and I think they had a T56 or similar. I could be wrong in terms of a manual. This one only has 23,000 miles.
Wow.
Marcello Gandini styled it. He's a famous Italian designer. Why don't you get up a couple more of his designs? I'd be curious to see.
What's his name?
Gandini, Gandini, car designer. I think he might have done stuff for Ferrari and stuff like that. But this has 3-mode top, factory literature.
He designed the Countach.
And the
Mira.
And the Mira. The Mira is probably the most beautiful car in the world. So to have a Gandini design, I wouldn't say the Cavalli Mangusta is quite there. The interior on this one is nice. I haven't seen this spec interior. It's trimmed in tobacco leather with brown carpets. It's a 2x2. I don't know who you're fitting in the rear of your Cavalli. A lot of people say this looks like a Mustang Dash, which makes me laugh. A lot of people say these are just such quirky cars that they're just a breath of fresh air. You know, you're never gonna see another one on the road.
Something unique.
They're dead reliable because it's a Ford. This is a 4.6 out of contemporary Mustang. At the end of the day, so there will always be parts for that. I think this would be a really, really sought after Cavalli Mangusta if it had the manual transmission. This one's automatic, unfortunately. But this looks very, very clean. These cars for me look like a combination of a Maserati Grand Sport with a little bit of Mercedes SLK in it.
Yeah, I see that.
The front grille is a little bit Aston-y to me. A little tiny bit of Aston there. I don't know. Let us know what you guys see in the Cavalli. This is a really unique car. I've never seen a door shaped that way with a cutout like that follows the side skirt. It's
it's interesting.
I don't know what Gandini might have been smoking.
Gandini!
when he was designing this one, considering he also did the Mira, but...
maybe this was one of his earlier designs.
Yeah, maybe he had an apprentice handle this one. Looks like super short wheelbase. Look at how little overhang there is over the rear and front wheels. I think that's funny. This is like a really SLK vibe angle to me, where it's super small, small
Short
wheelbase,
rear.
but like it still possesses kind of a wide stance to it.
Yep.
This looks like a bit of a Targa top, or it might be a full blown convertible. Let me see. No, it looks like a Targa top. I really like the seats. I love the tobacco leather and how it's trimmed.
Looks really clean too.
I've never seen. This goes back to the quirkiness of this car. I've never seen an automatic trans lever that looks quite like that.
That wheel looks.
The wheel looks like it's
out of an OG Beamer, right?
Or a '90s Mustang.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. This. I'm not sure if that's factory, but that head unit, which is touchscreen, is integrated very nicely.
Yep.
I don't think that's '01 vintage, so that has to be. There's your Mustang dash. No, that's a total aftermarket head unit in there.
Honestly, I don't blame them.
I don't blame them at all, but this is, I mean, super Italian, almost Aston Martin vibe interior, with what looks to be some kind of brushed aluminum, chrome bezels around the vents and the climate control, and you have a nice analog clock. So, wow.
Oh, wow, that's cool. You got the custom loading screen
on the Cavalli.
Yep.
I don't know where Cavalli stands as of 2019.
Let's check it out.
If they're still making cars or what they're doing. Look at that Mangusta bottle. This car is exceptionally clean. I mean, it only has 20,000 miles. Looks like it was maintained by British Motor Car Distribution in San Francisco. I know British Motor Cars very well. They have some really nice dealerships right in the heart of San Francisco. And this appears to be a one-owner car. Probably distributed and maintained by British Motor Cars in San Francisco.
So, Cavalli no longer exists.
Okay.
It was started by one gentleman. This is confusing. So it was started by Alejandro de Tomaso, who was looking for a business partner because he needed some finances.
Yep.
So he found Bruce Cavalli, who is an importer and distributor of exclusive cars in the U.S.
Yep.
The Mangusta was the only car that they produced, and right before deliveries began, the two parted ways business-wise. Cavalli took over the factory and the car's production. Tomas, his other partner, refused to allow Cavalli to use his name, so they had to switch out the original De Tomaso badges with Cavalli badges.
Oh, so this was under the De Tomaso roof.
Yep.
And the partners split, and then it became Cavalli, right?
Yeah, well, it was under the De Tomaso roof. He needed some money, so he found Bruce Cavalli.
Oh.
And then they parted ways, and Bruce got the factory and production and everything. So it says in between 2000 and 2002, they built 284 cars, most of which were made in the U.S. And then in 2003, Cavalli sold the rights to the Mangusta to Britain's MG Rover Group.
So this is a car that I prefer. This is the De Tomaso Pantera. Very similar in theory to the Cavalli in terms of Italian body style, Ford V8. And I just think these look amazing.
Oh, we've got Joel said in 1971, Ford acquired an 84% stake in De Tomaso from Rowan, with Alejandro De Tomaso himself holding the balance. De Tomaso. Ford would sell back their stake in the automaker in 1974 to Alejandro. So yeah, must have been Ford first. He used Ford for some capital.
Yep.
Something didn't work out. He found Bruce Cavalli, used him with his capital, and that didn't work out. And they.
I didn't know that Cavalli and De Tomaso were so tightly.
Thanks, Joel, for that info.
Thanks, Joel, for that
Appreciate
info.
that.
But here's a De Tomaso Pantera. This is, if I'm picking one between the Pantera and the Mangusta, Pantera all day. Far more exotic, just in architecture. It's
Looks like the Countach a little bit, right?
It has a bit of Ferrari vibe to it. I wouldn't say it looks entirely like the Countach, but
it's got no wing, that's for sure.
It doesn't have a wing. But this has a Ford V8. It's a mid-engine car, built in 1973. And it's interesting that Cavalli, even though De Tomaso, its famed car was the Pantera, which debuted in '73. That they launched this car in 01.
2000, I think. Between
In
2000 and 2002, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, let us know what you guys think of this Mangusta and Mangustas as a whole. I know this one is probably not going to go for the same number that a manual would go for. I think there's a lot to like about these cars. They're unique.
Like they're really
There's
rare.
284 of them, right? So you'll never see another one. It's really unique body style. I love how the interior is trimmed. I'm not a huge fan that they used Mustang components. I think they should have kept the Ford stuff under the hood, maybe done some more exotic things with the interior, especially with the gauge pod. But it's nice to know that you could own what is an Italian exotic that was around $85,000 new, and be able to go down to AutoZone if something goes bad, and
Get your Ford parts,
and repair your 4.6. This is probably the best looking Mangusta I've seen, just because I really like the black on over the tobacco interior.
Yeah.
That's interesting that it has somewhat of a, I think it's called the three-way top, where it looks like a Targa there, where you could take out the top piece, and then that either comes out or retracts down into the car and turns into a complete roadster. But like Kyle and I were saying, we get a lot of Maserati Grand Sport in this, some Mercedes SLK, a little bit of Aston Martin in the grill. Would like to see what else you guys see in this Mangusta as it just
hit
gets
24.5
to 24.5. I think the most appealing angle of this is definitely not from the rear. I would say that's probably its best angle. Maybe a side shot like that. I think that's a really good angle.
I like the side shot with the Targa roof up.
Oh, with the Targa roof up.
From like behind a little bit?
Yeah.
Was there a shot in there?
Let's go through. We just had another bid come in.
We're at 24,750 now.
24,750.
Nice.
I think the appeal for this car would be
It's rarity.
It's rarity, and for someone who doesn't want a manual, it's an easy drive. It has a V8, so it sounds good. It's a small car, so I'm sure it's quick, and I think it's just easy to maintain. I think like the Pantera, there's a lot of attractiveness in. Wow, we're up to 25 with under 3 minutes to go. It's really attractive to have a car that's exotic yet domestic. I think it's a really cool concept.
I don't know what this is gonna fetch.
I'm not too sure what this is gonna fetch. I didn't follow the one that sold. That was a 6-speed, or yeah, I think it was a 6-speed.
This guy, I paid more for my first one 7 years ago. It's worth every penny. So. I think that's pretty cool. The story behind it. There's only 284 of them.
I think it's
why I love BAT. I'd never. Joel said it looks like somebody tried to build an RX-7 out of a bunch of Darth Vader dolls.
Is it pronounced like Cavale or Cavalli? From what I heard, it's Cavale Mangusta. Cavale Mangusta.
Cavale Mangusta.
I feel like I need
pasta.
I feel like I need a plate of ravioli after saying that. But we're up to 25.5. A lot of bids coming in sub 2 minutes. It looks like Jaw 3
wants this baby
bad. Let's take a look at his profile, see how long he's been around, what other bids he might have had.
Oh, he's been around
he's been lurking in the shadows for a little bit, and it looks like he's been waiting for his perfect Mangusta, and has fallen in love with this one as he gets a rebuttal bid for $25,760 from Flat.
Right. Just gotta run. Let's meet somebody real quick.
No problem. Kyle will be gone for a minute as this Cavale ends. I'm following the chat here. We have Joel Johnson. It's like someone tried to build an RX-7 out of a bunch of Darth Vader dolls. I like that. He worked with Ford for a long time. Yep. Thanks, Joel. Um, and yeah, so we're going through this Cavalli. We have a minute 12 to go. We're sitting at 25,760. Let me get up on this other computer here just to see what kind of comps we have for this car. Give us an idea of pricing. This is a 23K mile example. So we had a 5K mile example that was a 2000 that sold for 18,000 bucks. Granted, the spec wasn't as nice, so it looks like um, we're right there. Funny enough, this is undoubtedly the priciest Cavalli that has ever been featured on Bring a Trailer. The second most expensive was sold at 18,000 bucks, so we're exceeding that by almost $8,000 right now. So, and we're talking about other cars that had 5,000 and 15,000 less miles. So, if you just tuned in, I know there's a couple of you. This is Auction House Live, and we cover Bring a Trailer auctions about 3 days a week. We started streaming at about 2 p.m. Eastern, took a little break to get some beers, and now we're back. This is the third car we've streamed in part 2 of this series. We're sitting with this Cavalli Mangusa that currently is breaking records, and it's sitting at $26,400. This car is super, super clean. I absolutely love the spec. The black over tobacco interior, and it's, like I said, it's breaking a record for any Cavalli Mangusa that's ever been posted to Bring a Trailer. We're up about $8,400 on the 5-speed that sold a couple days ago. For those who have just tuned in, this is an Italian body-styled car by Gandini. He also designed the Miura and the Countach. I wouldn't say, in my personal opinion, that this Mangusa is his best work. But despite that, this is a clean one-owner California car imported by British Motor Cars based in San Francisco. There's only 284 of these cars around. It's really cool that it's a Gandini design, even though it's not his prettiest work. And like Kyle and I mentioned earlier, one of the most attractive features of this car is its Italian body style, but it's familiar Ford V8, so parts won't be hard to find. We just got another bid for $26,650. This car, yeah, there's a lot of desire around this car. This is the most expensive Cavalli Mangusa I've seen in a while, and also, I mean, I thought the 5,000 mile one that was a 5-speed set the standard at $18,000. We're sitting at $26,650, and highest bidder is TRD OKC. Let's check the chat. Joel Johnson says, check out the steering wheel. It's straight out of a Mustang. Yeah, Joel, I agree with that. Also, the gauge pod, right out of a Mustang. Kind of funny that in a car designed by Gandini, also responsible for the Miura and the Countach, that so many interior bits would be right out of a Mustang. It looks like some of the climate control buttons are also out of a Mustang. This example has an aftermarket head unit. But yeah, what I really like about this car is the tobacco interior, though. I think it's really, really sharp, especially considering it's black over that. And the bids are reflecting that. We're at $26,950 with a minute 36 to go. This is breaking records for Cavallis right now. Joel Johnson says, I wouldn't mind the parts bin work at all if it weren't as ugly as Sin. I agree, Joel. This isn't Gandini's best work by any stretch of the imagination. Like we said, we see some Mercedes SLK in this. We see some Aston Martin in this, and some Maserati Grand Sport in this. But I certainly hope it drives a lot better than it looks. I think this with a 5-speed would be an absolute winner. Just as like a quirky car to round out your collection. But we're sitting at $26,950 with 50 seconds to go. Let's check out the highest bidder. What his history on Bring a Trailer is. Have 399 watchers right now. So this guy has been around Bring a Trailer for a little bit. Joined January 2016. Hasn't won anything, but he's definitely putting in some serious bids on this Cavale. Only has one other bid on a Toyota Tundra. And we're 22 seconds out. I think this is selling for this. Maybe one more bid to bring it to 27, but this is breaking records for Bring a Trailer Cavales. Say Cavale and you got it right. That's right, 604 fan. So Joe Johnson said, yeah, peanut butter interiors slap. Jaw 3 will come back. Nope, he didn't, Joel. This baby sold for $26,950. That is a crazy price. I think it's deserving of that considering the overall spec. But right now we're going to take a little break on our live auction coverage on Bring a Trailer, and we'll be right back in a couple minutes. Thanks, guys. Alright everyone, we're back here at Auction House Live. We're just figuring out some back end stuff with Bring a Trailer. But we're going to cover an Ariel Atom 3, and then we're going to wrap it up for today and hopefully be back on Monday. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here's the 2009 Ariel Atom 3 we're looking at. These are absolutely bad shit crazy.
Isn't it 300 horsepower in that beauty?
I think it's around 300 horsepower. It's a supercharged 2-liter K20A, which
What does that come out of?
I believe that's a Honda VTEC engine.
Yeah.
We have a 6-speed manual transaxle in it, and as you can see, the chassis is all exposed tubular. I believe steel. I think all of these aero components are carbon. Is it KO4?
Yeah, it's got the VTEC in there. They use it in the older Type Rs.
Okay.
RSX Type S.
So this one, fully street legal, turn signals, fuel tank support.
Airbags? We got airbags?
I don't think there's airbags in this one, but it has 16-inch lightweight alloy, probably forged wheels, running Toyo Proxy R888s. Loud tires, a lot of road noise, but I think this is a car you're kind of reserving for the track.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more road noise outside of just the tires if you take a look at the cabin there.
That's very true. I think you have a lot of wind noise and that you're not too worried about your tire noise, but this is a car you wear with a helmet full time. It's fully meant for the track. You have that supercharged Honda VTEC engine.
Yeah, Joel said that was the K20 was the first like real good Honda engine after the B.
Cool. I think these are super cool. I've seen a lot of Atom 2s on Bring a Trailer. I don't think I've seen an Atom 3. I think a similar Atom 2 with this mileage went for around 50,000. We're sitting at 42.5 with 11 minutes to go. I'm not sure if there's a premium for the Atom 3s. Maybe you guys could let us know in the comments.
Yeah, what's the difference between the 2 and the 3 though?
I think it's just updated. I think with every additional digit in their monikers, that it just shows advancement. But at the end of the day, an Ariel's an Ariel. I mean, this one's supercharged. I know they've produced a couple that were naturally aspirated with 300 horsepower.
Jesus Christ!
In a car that probably weighs a thousand pounds
like,
or less.
No, probably 12 to 1,400. It's a little bit of.
Yeah, only 2,500 miles on this. 5-point racing harnesses.
Yeah, that's definitely a track.
This is a track only car.
Yeah.
The carbon weave on the front, almost like F1 style aero pack, looks really, really cool. Look at that inboard suspension. That kind of reminds me of
they weigh 1,400 pounds.
Of a Pagani. Okay, so we're at 1,400. I'm surprised that that it's not like an aluminum tubular chassis, that it's steel, but I think you're 1,400 pounds with 300 horsepower.
Jesus Christ.
Just such a cool car. Looks so menacing. Just looks like a Formula race car pretty much with 2 seats. I'm sure when you're wearing your helmet, you get a ton of intake noise. That overhead intake is wild. You can see how aerodynamically efficient this car is with the wing sculpture in the back. It kind of replicates the front. The front wing and the rear wing kind of have the same sculpture to it, which is really, really cool. Just it looks like they basically stuck on 2 headlights and turn signals on this car.
Hey, that's the way to do it, as long as it works, right?
As long as it works. This has, what is that, Georgia registration?
Yep, it's from Georgia.
From Georgia, 2,500 miles. We're less than 10 minutes to go. The highest bidder is the Leo 2. And let's get a gist of what the comments are saying. A lot of people saying how cool these are, and that they envy the enthusiast who has the cojones to go ahead and buy one of these. We just had another comment come in. This guy will be watching this one and see if it meets reserve. Like I said, the Ariel.
How much are they new?
I think they're approaching 100.
What?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a purpose-built race car for the street. One of my favorite bits on BBC's Top Gear is when Jeremy Clarkson drove one of these, and it pretty much ripped his face off.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really funny bit. A lot of people are saying how similar they are to like a motorcycle.
It says these are 50 grand new.
The Ariel 3?
Yeah.
Really?
The Ariel 3 entry level Ariel Atom 3 is priced starting at 50 grand.
Huh. I wonder if there's costs associated with importation of these.
There's an Ariel 4 now.
They just launched the Ariel 4. This is an '09, so I'm not surprised they have an Ariel 4. Kind of similar to like the BAC Mono in terms of philosophy. You could drive them on the street, but these are like purpose-built race cars essentially, and I don't think you're gonna experience acceleration like this one, like this car offers in anything outside of a twin turbo Huracan or Gallardo maybe.
I wouldn't mind riding passenger with Chris Harris driving.
Oh my gosh, I think you'd poop your pants.
I probably would.
That's a cool shot of that overhead intake. I really like that. Almost like
love the harnesses.
Like an F1 car. These are Kirky Racing seats with 5-point harnesses. There's your fire suppression system. The steering rack is completely exposed. You can see, you can almost see the like there's some kind of suspension boot just right there. Super exposed. Pedals situated perfectly for heel towing. A little clutch. No dead pedal, which would frustrate me a little bit if I was driving this around town. But like I said, this is a purpose-built race car. Almost kit car vibes to it, but really cool detachable Alcantara racing wheel. Looks like you have the all your light and wiper switches, factory shut off there. Simple cage pod.
Looks like a go-kart.
This looks like it could be brake bias. Front to rear brake bias if you want to adjust handling characteristics under braking, provoking oversteer and mild understeer based on your driving style. But it's just so funny. It looks like they kind of just tacked everything on just to make it road legal as almost like a second thought. I've never seen a shifter quite like that.
Wow.
It must just be super short and notchy.
The Ariel Atom 4 has the newest Type R engine in it.
So it looks like Ariel's had a pretty long-standing relationship with Honda.
Yep.
Which is cool. We were just covering the Cavalli Mangusta if you just tuned in or if you've been following for a while, and another car that uses another mix engine.
Pull up the Ariel Nomad.
Ariel Nomads, they're off-road.
That's what Joel said. That's his dream daily.
They're off-road.
Never seen one.
They're off-road offering. The Nomads are really, really, really cool.
Oh, you can daily that, Joel? Where are you from, bro? Where are you driving that? That's badass.
This is badass. It's complete. It's like the exoskeleton, like all Ariels. This doesn't have the inboard suspension like the Atom, but it has a really long travel suspension setup. It looks like you have mud and off-road tires. A really cool light pod.
Jesus, that is sick.
I think this would probably be one of the most fun cars.
Joel, bro, now you're going to have me breaking my bank with that thing. That looks unbelievable. I'm a big dirt bike off-road guy, so this thing looks like a... oh my gosh, go back to that.
That's cool.
Is that real size?
I think so. I think
are they one-seaters?
No, they're two. You have two race buckets there. But similar...
Holy hell, that's small.
Yeah. I mean, super similar philosophy to the Ariel track cars, but you can see this one has guards over the wheels, way more travel. Looks like the exoskeleton has a little bit more protection for rollover if you're in the dunes or something similar, but...
Dude, you got to be sending this thing off the dune jumps and everything.
Yeah, this one has a winch.
Oh my god.
I really like the vibe of this one, Joel, with the beige, almost sand... exoskeleton that was powder coated that way. But right now we're looking at an Ariel Atom 3 2009 model with only 2,500 miles. I assume mostly track driven.
Yeah. Such low mileage in 10 years.
Yep. It looks like he might, being a George guy, might have been at Road Atlanta. I don't know if this is in the paddock at Road Atlanta or what. But we're closing in on 3 minutes with this Ariel Atom.
Joel said, imagine rolling up in a Nomad at the valet.
In a tuxedo.
In a tuxedo. Let me just take my helmet off. Let me get my harness off.
That would be a funny time.
Joel, you seem like a funny dude with some good character, man. I love that you're hanging in the chat. This is the only real interaction we've had today, and I really appreciate you hanging out here because Bring a Trailer is not currently letting us post links, so we're gonna set up a phone call with Bring a Trailer. Hopefully, agree on some kind of mutual relationship because Joel's always riding the Kevlar tux, though. Safety first, my man. Am I right? I'm looking at you, Joel. Safety first.
That Kevlar tux.
That's boss. Joel seems like a fucking boss, man.
Yep. So we got RoboCop 305 watching this one. He posted this about 6 minutes ago. We're closing in on 2 minutes on this Ariel Atom 3. This is Auction House Live. We cover Bring a Trailer auctions every day. We probably covered about 6 to 8 auctions today.
Yep.
Today's been a bit of a slow day. We've had some hiccups.
As was yesterday.
Yeah, but today primarily because we just haven't been able to post.
Oh, you're talking about Streamwise.
Streamwise, the links. Maybe we'll post links in popular BAT Reddit threads or
you guys, maybe if you guys are watching, if you guys want to post the link, like, hey, I'm really enjoying the stream. Check it out here.
Check it out here.
Because until we get this sorted out with Bring a Trailer, it looks like we will not be able to post links. So the more people that we have in the stream with us, the more we learn, the more you guys learn. The more exciting this is.
Yeah, and I think this isn't something that distracts from the auction. It's something that completely complements it.
Yep.
I know a lot of people watch how we go through the listings because we've been on Bring a Trailer for a while, and their screen might be up watching our screen share. But I think a lot of people also keep this as a secondary window and use it as just an audio source while they're watching these auctions.
Yeah, Joel, we were actually thinking. I mean, my plan is to try to work with Bring a Trailer because clearly a lot of you guys enjoy this. I totally agree. They're definitely chill, but they have to protect the brand and audience. So that's where we might be looking to see if we can partner with them and do this 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Branded under Bring a Trailer from their account, their YouTube account, and sort of get a little creative with social media and marketing for Bring a Trailer because it's such a great site. It's growing so quickly, and we feel this is an awesome addition to what they already have. So definitely going to be working with or trying to work with Bring a Trailer.
But I mean, this isn't going to stop us. We're going to continue to stream. We're going to continue to do what we do, basically. And I mean, a slight hiccup like this, I think even though we've only done 3 of these, we have a ton of guys who've been in our comments showing us support, so maybe it just takes a couple of us. Bid for $43,000 just came in on this
one.
2009 Ariel Atom 3. I think the bids are going to start coming in considering an Ariel 2 with 3,500 to 4,000 miles sold for $50,000. So I think the market on these might be I wouldn't say these depreciate much considering you said the MSRP for a base one is around $50,000.
Yep.
So I think these are holding value quite well based on that. They're super fun cars. Nothing really is as visceral as an Ariel Atom in terms of acceleration, handling, overall track performance. I know they held track records on a variety of tracks in the early to mid 2000s. I'm not sure where they stand now. I would love to drive one. I would love to experience it. I think it would be overwhelming. It would just be such a raw driving experience.
The most raw driving experience. Yeah. I mean, just thinking, I had my WRX with 300 horsepower, and it weighed 3,200 pounds. This baby's weighs 1,400 pounds, and it's got 300 horsepower. So
looks like we have
this would be dangerous to own. Like our roommate, Midnight Mark 7, could barely handle my 300 horsepower WRX. So put him in the Ariel Atom, that thing's going right off the track.
I think we need to strap a diaper on him. Before giving him the keys to something like this. But we're 30 seconds out. Current bid is $43,000. Sunny S11 is the highest bidder on this 2009 Ariel Atom 3.
Joel, do you know what the production numbers are on these? I totally agree with you. They must hold value because of production numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar exactly.
Production numbers and low mileage because they're only track driven primarily.
And but they've got a Honda engine.
Let's see if this hits reserve.
Hey, Midnight.
It closes. Sold.
43,000.
Sunny S11. Considering $50,000 track toy new, $7,000 depreciation hit over around 9 or 10 years is not too bad. Only 2,500 miles driven on this one. Primarily tracks, I would assume. These are cool cars. Super raw experience, inboard suspension, Honda VTEC, supercharged Honda VTEC engine, the K20A, as we mentioned, but another sold car. I don't think any of the cars we covered today were reserved not met,
yeah,
right? So
I agree.
Contrasting yesterday, where pretty much every
Less
car
than
we
100,
covered,
basically hand built. Yeah, 100 a year. I could see that. Yeah, so we're I think we're gonna finish up the stream for today. Joel, you've been awesome today in the chat. We're gonna be working with Bring a Trailer, but if you really do enjoy this, if you want to shoot them an email or something and just let them know, like, hey, I think this is an awesome idea with a lot of potential.
Same with
anybody that's watching that could. Racer Boy,
Mattman,
Elevated Off Road, who's been in here.
That helped us out a lot. So we're going to talk to Bring a Trailer. Hopefully have some communication with them this weekend, maybe Monday. But we should be back on Monday. There's a lot of good stuff coming out Monday.
Yep.
991 Turbo S, some really cool BMW M's coming up. I think there's some really unique stuff from Bruce M, our buddy Bruce M.
Bruce!
Some twin turbo V12 Mercedes, and we also have a quite special titanium gray Mazda Speed Miata that is ending on Thursday that we're going to be covering as well. A couple Porsche GT3s mixed in there, but we have some good stuff coming up that we're excited about. We just need to talk to Bring a Trailer, figure the logistics of everything out.
Yeah, Joel, so schedule-wise, we're planning to be on around 2:30 Monday, Wednesday, Friday as of now. If we're going to do more or less, we'll let you know, but we're trying to be on at least for 30 minutes to an hour.
If you subscribe to us, you'll get the notification of when we go live.
Joel's definitely subbed, bro.
Yep.
He knows what's up.
But we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we think. The schedule might deviate a little bit. We might exchange Friday for Thursday or exchange the days based on what's ending, so some stuff is more interesting than others, but that's basically the plan moving forward.
Joel, thank you today for the activity in the chat.
Good first week of Auction House Live. We're going to be continuing this with Bring a Trailer coverage, and if they don't work with us, then maybe we'll have to launch our own auction house.
Hey,
it could happen
with a 2% buyer's fee.
Exactly. That we will be live streaming every auction.
2% on 500 on 100,000, 5% on 100,000. Ooh, so you never know.
Best case scenario is we work.
Cheers, Joel.
We work with our friends at Bring a Trailer.
Yep.
Cheers, Joel.
We love them.
But we'll see you all Monday. Thanks so much.